here talking about mutts and stuff, and they say that if they say it to you, they say it to other people. They say it among themselves. You know what I'm saying? I got 11 different ethnicities, 11 different ancestors. You don't want to play with me. You got what, two, three? So if you go to war with me spiritually, I got more ancestors than you do. I'm just saying, I got more spiritual inheritance than you do. I'm just letting you know. Because there's a lot of you out there that try to reduce people down like me down to a dog, talking about mud. I don't feel that way. What I feel is what happens to a lot of light skinned or mulatto people in your community is by the time they get in their 20s, they look weak because you've been badgering them their whole life. Let me let that resonate. See, after all, it is about race. It is. It is. When you have these issues, even among black people, it is about race. Okay? Let's stop fooling ourselves. It is. It is. When we still have racism in America, it is about race. When you got light skin and dark skin don't get along, and that's how it's been from the beginning of time, it is about race. Because even among black people, while they talking about it shouldn't be about race, racism shouldn't be here, they got racism among themselves. Yeah, white people don't know that. You do not know that black people are racist against other black people. You can't really say you knew that. I live with a military man, a white guy from San Antonio. He was a Marine. And I talked to him about this, that light skin and dark skin, they have conflicts among each other. He was like, really? This white guy couldn't believe it. He passed away right before 2020, December 2019, December 1st. But this military man could not believe that light skin and dark skin conflict among each other. If you go and look at a lot of these conflicts that happen, especially among women, cheating, trying to have sex with their men and all that kind of stuff, it's all built. A lot of it is all about racism. You know, my own brother didn't even like. He was the darkest in the whole household, and the only brother in the household. He complained about everybody being lighter than him. He said it out of his own mouth. Yeah, surrounded by all these light skinned people. So he got a certain bitterness from being around, concerning light skinned people. But your favorite rapper is light skinned. That part. Your favorite rapper is High Yellow. So what I think is he had an infatuation with it, but he couldn't be it, so he became bitter about it. There are dark skinned people like that. They just they feel it's more beautiful. Nobody else make them feel that way. They do not accept themselves. It's self-hate. We have to address this in the African American community. I can't help you love yourself. If you don't love yourself, if you feel that you're ugly because you're dark skinned, if you feel like you're ugly because you have a broad nose, if you feel like you're ugly because your forehead is broad, if you feel like you're ugly because you are African, I can't help you with that. I can't help you. All I can do is show you the beauty that you do have. All I can do is show you the beauty that I see. But if you just stuck on feeling like white is more beautiful or light skin is more beautiful, you have a complex yourself that I can't help you with. And it's a huge issue. Why you think it's an issue that why you think it's an issue that is minute and probably not a problem. A lot of this separation and division in the African American community, man, is all about a lot of it is light skin, dark skin. Listen to some of these rappers' music. Listen to Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar on this other album, he was saying, "What you loyal to?" on the song "Loyalty." What you loyal to? You loyal to the dark skin, loyal to the light skin. For him to say loyal to the dark skin, loyal to the light skin, it has to be a big division of dark skin and a big division of light skin people. It is. You know what I'm saying? And the problem is, I'm gonna tell you, the problem is the one that is less African or like African. That's the problem. That's the one that gets hated the most. The one that is less African. Think about it now. Why would the dark skin, part African or more African be more hated overall? I know some people have the dark skin jokes, you black joke, that kind of thing, right? But let's just go to most shades of dark skin. You got real dark, you got other dark too. The overall spectrum of dark skin do not go through persecution in the African American community like the spectrum of light skin complexions. Because you are considered as one of them. The light skin are not considered as one of them really. They don't know what you are. They don't feel they know what you are. They feel like you are not the full root of what they are. Well, then look at Bob Marley. Yeah, I'm going to throw it out there. Bob Marley was not dark skinned. Bob Marley was actually, his dad was European, right? But yet you esteem him as very high ranking as far as African, as far as vibration, right? I'm just giving you a perfect example. Bob Marley will be the perfect example of how someone that is mixed or blended with different things besides African can have high ranking vibration. Yeah. And no one wants to point that part out. I've never heard anyone say that Bob Marley's father was European. All you want to think about is that he's African and he represents African. But you have to accept all of him. You have to accept all of it because all of it is part of what makes him who he is. All of it is what makes him who he is. It ain't just the African part. That's what you don't want to accept. It's not just the African part that makes Bob Marley Bob Marley. It's not just the African part that made Bob Marley music. Yeah, I know. You don't want to accept it, though. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I don't have a problem with it. I don't got no hang up with it. I'm totally comfortable with it. Because, see, particularly me, I come from North Carolina. So, see, that's where my balance is. I have 11 different ethnicities. Asian, I'm part Asian. I'm part South American. 4 different types of European. But where the balance is I've been bred in one of the most chocolate cities that there is, which is Charlotte. Charlotte is chocolate city all day. If any African Americans are really connected to, they got the money to travel and they really connected to African culture or African American culture, and they want to be a part of African American culture, and they want to see the chocolate cities of the country, Charlotte is one on the list. Charlotte is one on the list. Charlotte is one on the list. Atlanta is one on the list. What else? All these places throughout the South, Decatur, Savannah, different parts of Florida, Miami, Jacksonville, Tampa even maybe, but different parts of Florida and things, people, the African American community acknowledge Charlotte, where I'm from. That's black. And if they'll tell you Charlotte is as black as it gets. I remember being raised in neighborhoods when I really think about it, there were no other races there. Not really. Not like it is in other places, like here in New York and all these other places. There were nothing but black people. That's what I'm saying. So that's my balance. That's like, so before you try to think that's what I'm saying. Where I come from and how I am, man, I was raised in one of the most chocolate cities that there is. Charlotte. Charlotte is one of the most chocolate cities. So see, God knew what he was doing with how he did me, how he raised me, and how he made me. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to question my black card when I come from Charlotte. That whether I get along with them now, whether they see me how they see me, they don't stop nothing. See what you gotta understand, man. These just cause you the city might not give you a pass, that don't mean nothing. Look, man, that's street politics stuff to me. Another problem in our community. Another problem in our community is street politics. That it is. I don't have to fit in with that. They can't deny me of the raising that I got. It didn't even to be real. They had nothing to do with it. I was with my family. That part. I wasn't with you anyway. But it was a Charlotte family. It was a Charlotte upbringing. It was Charlotte food that I ate. It was Charlotte culture that I was a part of. Fishing, eating chillings, all that stuff. Collard green soul food, man. You can't tell me about black living, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, man. I put Charlotte up against almost any chocolate city there is, man. Especially being in North Carolina, man. It's not too many like that. You know what I'm saying? That's popular. That's black culture. Truly a chocolate city, man. It's not too many other ones, man. It's not too many other ones, man. And you can't compare your biggest cities like Chicago, Detroit. Detroit, I give Detroit that it's a chocolate city because the Motown and the soul that came just from the music culture, to me, is what makes Detroit a chocolate city. But all the other major cities, like even New York City, LA, y'all had black culture per se. But to say you a chocolate city, dominantly chocolate, no, not to me. Man, you had too many white people in your cities, like controlling it and trying to control it. You know what I'm saying? Um, Charlotte was not controlled. Our side of town was not really controlled by white people. We didn't really see a lot of white people around. That's what you gotta understand. That's where I come from. You know what I'm saying? So when people question my authenticity, check yourself. You know what I'm saying? Check yourself. Check yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't even come from somewhere blacker than me. So you don't need to check if I'm racist. You don't need to check if the whole look, man. I'm gonna be real with you. No one's in the position to talk about racism. Okay? No one's in that position. Black culture is not in that position. Well, the reason why you're not in that position because you really do have a problem with racism among each other. You don't accept each other. You got some dark-skinned girls, they just hate light-skinned girls. They hate light-skinned men. They do. They do, man. And because you already have stereotypes in your head. You already have stereotypes in your head. That's your problem. And so by the time you get to somebody like me, you have all these stereotypes of what light skin is, or someone that's lighter is, and that's not per se dark skin is, and you think that you know what I am, and see that's where you make a mistake. You know what I'm saying? I've been raised, man, among real Africans, and so all you other ethnicities that try to look and say, well, the Ruth is not that dark, man, bruh. My soul is dark. My soul is African. That's why I move the way I move. That's why I move the way I move. And some people, you dark as ever, but your soul is not African. It's one thing to be black. It's another thing to be African. Yeah, if you're not for the cause and you all for this foolishness out here, to me, you are not African. You are reduced down to black. That's why a lot of white people love saying black. You know why? Because they don't want to tell you, they don't like acknowledging that you're African. They don't want to acknowledge it. And now you don't start saying it. But unfortunately, a lot of you have denied your African roots and your African perspective, and therefore you are just a shell, which makes you black. To me, you're not African inside. Because if you were African inside, not just by appearance, not just because you have dreads, not just because you are dark skinned, not just because of that, not just because you look the build of an African man or woman, it's because it's what perspective do you have as an African? And if you are opposing other Africans, I do not esteem you as African. I do not esteem you as African. You oppose other Africans. I don't care what you're talking about because you don't have the position of being able to give out passes. See, what they told you is once you become an OG, oh, you got the power to now say who's who. When you come to a certain part in the African American community where you feel that you're high ranking among yourselves, you think those people have the right to tell me who I am as a grown 41-year-old man. I'm 41 years old. I know exactly who I am. I don't need you to tell me who I am. You're not paying my bills. You're not doing anything for me. And that's how I look at it. I don't need your black pass. I don't need it. I know I'm black. I've been raised in blacker cities than a city than you have. Imagine you thinking you more in tune with black culture than me. When I'm from North Carolina, when I'm from North Carolina, every black person know what North Carolina is, man. Come on. I don't have to prove nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? The proof is in the pudding, bruh. That's why they can't get on top of me. That's why I got way more funk than they got. That's why I got way more splash and style and sauce than they got because I come from North Carolina. Yeah, this ain't no New York thing. I'm not from New York. I'm not from Los Angeles. I'm proud to be from, based on being African, I'm proud to be from North Carolina because I definitely can say that I have been connected to real African culture and African roots. A lot of y'all can't say that. I mean, you from LA, but you ain't been connected to no real African roots, bro. You from New York, but you ain't really been connected on your block to no African roots, bro. Not all of you, some of you, but not all of you, not on the average. You know what I'm saying? So, but I can say that. I can sit and tell you, I've been around real African people and real African culture, okay, here in America, based on being here in America, based on African Americans here in America. You know what I'm saying? So why these white people out here challenging my black card, you got them on that because you've been crying. You've been crying because we don't get along, and that tells me you really ain't black. Well, you should know we don't get along. You know that. Just like Tupac said, we fight among ourselves. We fight among ourselves all the time. And so for you to take that, whether it's hidden below the belt, whether it's I don't want to deal with you, whatever it is that's said, if you take that as racism, I question your blackness. Because black people fight even in their own families, let alone out here on these streets. Like you don't know that as a black person. Like that's a silly perspective. That's a suburban perspective. You ain't been in the ghetto, man. Man, it's fights all the time. It's division all the time in family and everything, man. All kind of falling outs. Like as a black person, you should be way aware of that. That's not something that should puzzle you as strange. If black people not getting along, that should not puzzle you. That should not puzzle you. White people, I don't know. Maybe they puzzled by it. I don't see how they could be with all the gang violence, all the black on black violence. I don't see how black on black crime. How could they be puzzled by it too? So who really can be puzzled? That's what I'm saying. So it's once again, you're holding me to a standard that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. When you see conflicts all the time among black people, even in their own families. So if it gets more evil and if it gets more vicious, then that's what it is. But you can't sit up here and talk about somebody racist. See, that's you being the clown and the troll that you have become. And as far as this culture goes, you become clowns and trolls. You know what I'm saying? You find it entertaining to sit up and put something on somebody's name and watch them scramble with it. You don't want to see me scramble with anything, man, because like I told you, I'm a prophet. A prophet has no problem with bringing judgment on anybody, any ethnicity, his own family, anybody. Let alone somebody out here. That's where you got me messed up. Is you don't acknowledge even black people fighting in their own families. Black people know that. Our own families don't even get along anymore. And some of you have even said white people treat us better than our own people. Oh, come on. You ain't never said that. You ain't never heard another black person say white people treat us better than we treat our own people. Than we treat ourselves. Yeah, that's been said. I've heard it. I've heard it. White people treating black people better than black people treat each other. Because some of them have compassion and they understand where we come from. When you lost your way, understanding where we come from, or being aware, or that being to the forefront of your mind, you lost your way. You lost your way, understanding where we come from. You're awake about everything else, but you're not awake about how you treat your own people. You're not awake about that. You're not awake about how you look at your own people. You're not awake about how it's still dark skin and light skin divisions, and a lot of that affects business and money and the culture. Oh, it affects it. That's why you got light skinned people over here and making money. You got black people, dark skinned people over here making money. Yeah, a lot of times you do. And let's keep it 100. Some of y'all don't like Beyonce because she light skinned. Let me let that resonate. A lot of you women out there just want to find fault in her just because she's light skinned. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You have a problem with her just because she's light skinned. So you're looking for a contradiction because she's light skinned. You do not accept her totally because she's light skinned. She ain't going to talk about it because it's going to be too controversial for her to do it. Somebody else got to do it. Somebody else got to bring it up, because if she's talk about it, it's going to be taken out of context. Oh. She think that we don't like her because she light skinned. She full of herself. It ain't that. It's the truth. It's the truth. You feel like she's successful because she's light skinned. When she got style, she got, she can dance and all that different stuff. But you feel that it's because she's successful, a lot of y'all, because she's light skinned. And you know what? If it is because of that, it ain't her fault. What's she supposed to say? Well, let's deny my light skin part. Let's deny that and see how successful I am after that. Would you deny it? If you're getting embraced, would you deny the embrace? You would not. So really, you're being a hater. I mean, let's keep it 100. As far as that goes. Now, if you got different other issues and different other things, okay, we can address those, but let's address that part first. Let's address that part. Let's address that part that she's probably been rejected by dark-skinned people. She ain't gonna talk about it. It's for other people to talk about it. Okay? But I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna say it how I want to say it. In the African American community, you either go to one extreme or the other. You either worship light-skinned people or you hate light-skinned people. It's one extreme or to the other. You either love them, you worship them, you think they're better than other light-skinned people. You think the high yellow Africans are a delicacy. A lot of you women, you think a high yellow light-skinned guy is a delicacy to you. You think he's more better. He's just more better. Same thing with black guys. You get a light-skinned girl and you just think she's extremely better than the other African American girls. That's what you think. And I can see the beauty in all people. I can see the beauty in dark-skinned people. I can see the beauty in brown-skinned people. But I'm not going to put down light skin to make dark skin feel better. It's that part. And that's what a lot of you do. You would downgrade light skin You'll downgrade light skinned individuals and leaders even to make a dark skinned community feel better about themselves. Which it won't last long because if they don't feel good about themselves, that's like fast food. That's like fast food. It's gonna go down and then you're gonna be hungry again. You ain't gonna have enough. Because you have to love yourself. You have to love how you look. You have to love your complexion. You have to love that. And I can't help you with that. And it's not my fault. Half of these African Americans around here got all kind of hang-ups. They got all kind of superficial hang-ups about how they look, and it's not anyone's fault. You listen to white America that when you watch the commercials that's beautiful. That's what beauty is. And we all as different races have our own types of beauty. A lot of white girls now they want to have butts like black girls. They want to have butts like black women, right? Okay, that's a type of beauty that Africans have. They have voluptuous bodies, endowed bodies, and things like that. You know what I'm saying? There's in Europeans, they have a lot of them have facial beauty. They have beautiful faces. You can't take that from them. You can't take it from them. They have beautiful faces, and you just like they won't like some white people won't deny us of what we have. They know we have beautiful bodies. Okay, we have whether it's men or women, they acknowledge that. We have to acknowledge what they have. They have beautiful faces. They have beautiful faces. So, at the end of the day, God made all human beings beautiful in different ways, in different types of ways. You know what I'm saying? But sitting up here denying someone of it is racism. You know what I'm saying? If it's among yourselves with dark skin and light skin, if you the type of person to downgrade a light skinned person just because they light skinned and you with that whole down and bash light skin culture, but then as soon as somebody say something about dark skinned people, you all on it, you want to cancel them, then don't play yourself, man. You're racist. You're racist. You're racist. You're just this type of racism have just went undetected. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not really I think some light skinned people get beat up because they light skinned. They get in fights because of it. Especially girls, women, they get in fights because of it. They get in fights because of it. So it is a type of physical altercation or badgering or abuse about it. You know what I'm saying? And people don't want to acknowledge it, man. They don't want to acknowledge it. You know what I'm saying? White people don't even know. Some of them don't even know. They don't know that, but you do. You do. You do know this. And you have not been talking about it. Like I said before, when we had the plantation, of when the mulattoes first came about here in America, officially, black and white, slave family with slave master family, mixing that and making a child. Now, when the man or woman became about as an adult, right, 18 and up, beautiful skin, you can't deny them of it. It's beautiful, right? Beautiful skin, beautiful hair. The Africans didn't know what that was. Being from Africa, they didn't see that. They didn't see that in Africa. Think about it. Not really. Probably not. And it was a blend of them and everything, and they had house privileges. The mulattoes had house privileges that they didn't ask to have themselves. The slave master had enough, I guess, honor to feel that that child was part of him, and he gave them certain privileges. He gave the mulatto children he had with African women certain privileges. But you can tell that white people seen that Africans were beautiful because why they having babies? It's just you. They have this hang up. They see the beauty in us. You don't see the beauty in yourself. Okay? So you have to check yourself and evaluate your real feelings. Do I really have kind of like this thing with light skin and dark skin, or someone dark skinned walking in the room and I feel a type of way. Somebody light skinned walking in the room and I feel a type of way. You need to check yourself, man. Really check your heart and soul search and feel because if you do have some of that, that's racism. You want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. See, I'm a surgeon with this. I'm a surgeon. I cut the stuff that some people can't cut. You can't cut this. You're not skilled enough. You know what I mean? You don't hear nobody else really talking about it. I mean, throughout in certain ways, but like as an issue though, as a cultural issue, man, it's been swept under the rug so long. When you go to comedy, you see comedy. Okay, they got light skin jokes, right? Look, let's be 100. All them light skin jokes ain't funny to everybody. All them light skin jokes ain't nobody, everybody ain't laughing. Especially if they done been through something. But you don't really hear no dark skin jokes. Every once in a while, here and there, a little jab of it. But for the culture of comedy in the African American community, you don't really have a lot of dark jokes. What you have, dark skin jokes. What you have is a lot of light skin jokes. All right, man, come on. You don't know your own culture? You already know what I'm talking about. If you are truly African American, you already know what I'm talking about with the light skin jokes. You already know what I'm talking about. The memes that show light skinned people looking like dogs, light skinned people looking like a little chihuahua. You already know about that. All that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? But if we did that with dark skin, then you would say the light skinned people are bougie or don't accept their own. See, light skinned people didn't complain about it, as you notice, right?